What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes, and welcome to another episode of my Path to Power. I know it's been a little while, and we have a long episode to hopefully make up from it. I've got to say, it was wonderful having a controller back in my hand. So what I will do is I will leave a timestamp or something on the screen, maybe an annotation. If you want to just skip ahead to the gameplay, it'll probably be about 10 minutes into this video. But if you guys are interested in seeing the squad that I build for the new tournament and how I go about buying all of the players, that is what we're going to have at the beginning of the episode here. So we got started with that free pack there, a steaming pile of mediocrity. Pretty standard for your season ticket pack, nothing special. Went out, bought Felipe Santana, the new tournament. As many of you guys tweeted me over the weekend, telling me to build a team for it, is an 11 league tournament. So 11 players from 11 different leagues, and there's really only one simple answer to do this, and that is a Brazilian national team, because there are studly and strong Brazilian players in many leagues throughout the world, and especially on Ultimate Team. You can find hidden little gems. Went out searching for Felipe Melo right there. Was shocked to find that you can get a buy now for him less than 1,000. So eventually I found a low minimum price bids and threw out a bunch of them, because somebody's tried to price fix him at about 2,000, 3,000 coins. And essentially what I'm going to do is, if I can get my hand on a bunch of them for, 400, 500 coins, something like that, I'm going to just list all of them up for 1,000, 1,200, and it's probably double my money. Now, I will say, when I first went into this tournament, I actually had a little trouble finding a match. That means that people aren't really involved and aren't really interested even with a 10,000 coin prize, which is just ridiculous. If you think about that, for 4 games of FIFA, you get 10,000 coins at the end of it. That is absolutely phenomenal, plus the coins that you make from each game. So it's really a tournament that is worth checking out and possibly worth giving a shot. I'm assuming that I'm going to face all Brazilian teams in there, because it is the strongest way to go into that tournament. Chose David Luiz from the BPL because I am using my most loved 3-5-2 team again. I thought, you know what? I've just hit 352 uploads. I haven't played, tons of gameplay in over a week. Let's go with the 3-5-2 to have a little bit of fun with it. See if we can get some good gameplay. See if we can include some skilled players in here and, go back to enjoying FIFA. Having a bit of a hiatus from the game was actually kind of nice, and it kind of, I suppose, re-inspired me a little bit to get going with this. And I thought, you know what, maybe we'll get an informed Lucas. That could be fun. We'll throw a bid on Kaká, because, you know what, he'd make a very nice attacking mid for us. Shored up the defense first, though, and that was Felipe Santana, Kanu, and David Luiz. And Kanu was really the only option from the Belgian Pro League. He's a fantastic center back and fits in very nicely. Fills one of the league spots. His price has gone up a little bit, though, and it might just be a 3-5-2 thing, because he is a fantastic silver center back for a 3-5-2. Probably one of the top 5 silver center backs for that formation in this game, or maybe one of the top 5 anyway in any formation. It's just because he has something near 70, I think it's 78 heading and 80 pace, which makes him an absolute handful. He stands 6'2", so he can win headers over most attackers, and just an absolute beast. Went out and checked Inform Ronaldinho. We did a little bit of trading with him when I was up in Wisconsin. Managed to make a few coins on him, but 120,000, couldn't find one by now. And I thought, okay, went and checked all the minimum prices. All the minimum prices were even higher. There's only one 3-5-2 Ronaldinho, 120, I think 3,000 coins in my formation. I just couldn't say no, couldn't pass up the offer, and boy, am I glad that I bought him. But you'll see more of that coming up in the gameplay. But on the same note, he is one of the most fun players that I've used in FIFA this year. And I don't know what it is, something about him, though. We did win a Tony Cruz from a little while back. 37,250 coins, I think, is what we paid for him, and we're going to go ahead, and I went and searched. None of them listed in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. I thought, perfect. That means I'll probably throw him up 45,000, hope for the best. Probably should have checked his price, because he sells almost instantly as an inform holding mid of 4-1-2-1-2. So that's fantastic. Put him up for 6 hours, and that's just an instant buy. You can't attribute that to anything other than just good trading. So nobody even had a chance to see that I bought that card pre its selling. Michel Bastos is going to be our French League 1 player. We're going to have him playing left mid, and that's mainly just because we went with Ronaldinho as the attacking mid. Otherwise, it would have had to have been Neymar. I thought about Dede briefly, but there are too many other good center backs from Brazil that it just wasn't needed, and I like the way it's set up. As our silver right mid, we're going to go with Kelvin. The actual cheapest buy now out there at this time was in a 3-5-2 formation. And more often than not, when you buy the cheapest buy now on the market, chances are that you're going to be okay and you're going to get away with being able to sell him on again for more. I've only used Kelvin in one other side, and so I'm kind of curious to see exactly how he's going to pan out. You can see all this Felipe Melo still up there. Picked up a Wellington from the Russian League as my Russian League Brazilian, and boy, oh boy, is he fast and strong. He'd been recommended to me hundreds of times over, and he was one of those players. He was kind of my Ogbonglahor a little bit, I suppose, but I thought finally we'll give him a shot, pair him up there with Alexander Pato, use a FIFA-esque sweat. Ooh, that's the S word. I hate using that S word. But use, it's a very ultimate team oriented style that can be played with those two up front. Even though I don't really have any, Ronaldinho's dropped in behind in the attacking mid spot, and he's not ultra pacey, so he's not going to be making any through runs. However, with Wellington and Pato up front, they should be able to create tons of space for Ronaldinho to work his magic. And with this tournament out, Brazilian players have they've gone up in price a little bit, and that was to be expected. It's because they're the most viable option for the tournament. Obviously, we're going to go. I went and thought, maybe there's a silver keeper from an off league, but I thought, Liga BBVA, Diego Alves, probably the best option and probably the most sound option as a whole for the team. I could have thrown, just some, like a Serie B goalkeeper in there, but it really wasn't a smart move, especially when I can pay a little bit more for Diego Alves and have a very, very strong keeper. But on we went. Sissoko is finally sold. I can't even remember how long he's been in the club, but thank goodness for that. Slowly letting Diego Alves take down. 5,000 coins is what we pay. The cheapest buy now out there was 5 or 6, something like that. So once we get our use out of him, I'll try to sell him pre the tournament ending to hopefully get my coins back on him. And selling these Brazilians overnight will probably be a good call because there will be people that are trying to build teams for this tournament overnight that, will be wanting them in a certain formation, in a certain, position and the certain player. And they might not have too many options out there. We'll list them up for a really long time, 6 to 12 hours, and put a nice little competitive buy now on them, and odds are they will sell on Indeed. Picked up another Felipe Melo right there. He's going to just sit there and wait. But now it's on to find the other CDM to pair with Melo, and that was kind of, I don't know, there were a lot of options. There were some people getting pretty smart with it, taking some of the Saudi players and listing them up for far more than they should actually sell for. And eventually I thought, I'm going to take a pass on the gold players. Let's go check out some silvers and see where that gets us. But this was a pretty hefty process, and eventually, I come to realize that in the Premier Division mechs, you've got Rossoneri, and Wilson something. And Rossoner's price, because of his pace, is just absolutely ridiculous. And so we take Wilson, and the second part of his name is eluding me right now. But we go ahead and we're going to eventually, this, like I said, it was a process, but we're eventually going to pick him up, and he's going to round out the side. So to recap really quick, we've got Wellington and Pato up front. Ronaldinho behind them, Michel Bastos on the left, Kelvin on the right. Our two holding mids are going to be Wilson, I can't think of his name, and Felipe Melo. Our center backs across the back are going to be David Luiz on the left, the Dortmund center back Felipe Santana in the middle, and Kanu on the right with Diego Alves in net. A pretty darn strong team, if I do say so myself, in my preferred 3-5-2 formation. And I'm gonna just on a separate note with the 3-5-2. In some of my previous videos, I've seen some comments saying, Japes, you play a lot of the 3-5-2 and then you complain about it. I'm not really complaining about it as much as saying, oh no, I know this team is going to be strong. This formation is so good, sort of thing. And that's not complaining. It's recognizing that I'm going to be in a tough game against a tough formation. And that's, I use it because it is the strongest formation out there, at least in my personal opinion, for Ultimate Team. The games that you guys are going to see coming up here, I haven't felt this comfortable playing in Path to Power in a while, so hopefully we might keep this team or slowly build on this team for the other tournaments that'll be upcoming here, as it was working for me, and it was working really, really nicely. But on we go, Team of the Week Cup, and I'm not exactly sure what else. Someone was trying to tell me that you get a bonus, like a better chance of finding inform cards if you win this tournament, so That's kind of cool. Going to just fill the bench with players that we have left in our club. We've got Sho Wunmi on the bench and Lago Jr. as two of the bronze strikers that are pretty darn good, that we've had a little bit of success with in the past. But on into the gameplay, finally about 10 minutes in, and he's got a Brazilian team, as I suspected. 4-3-2-1, pretty tough formation for the 3-5-2, or not necessarily pretty tough, but it can be difficult with the left forward and right forward taking advantage of your outside backs. But it's Wellington stepping inside, banging home the opening goal of the tournament, 8th minute, and we have our lead. Couldn't have asked for anything a little bit more. It was a strong chop and a strong finish to put it into the bottom corner. Shortly thereafter, 21st minute, we are on the move again. Michel Bastos, actually a very, very strong player on this game. I'm kind of surprised that I don't see him in more squads. Now, he doesn't have 5-star skills anymore, which is kind of a letdown, but he still does have 4-star skills. And with how strong near post finishing is on this game, he's essentially a slightly slower Gareth Bale and goes for thousands and thousands, or tens of thousands of coins less. Ronaldinho is going to step up, put away the penalty that Bastos did indeed earn in the 22nd minute, and we are on our way to what will hopefully be securing a victory. However, in the 45th minute, I make a crucial mental error, managed to collect it from the corner right here, and should have just cleared it out. But what is that pass? Did my manager or my coach ever teach me to pass it back into the middle off of a corner? Absolutely not. When in doubt, clear it out. But I was pretty confident in my ability, and so that's what that mess was. A little bit nervous there with that keeper's first touch, but outlets it to Kanu, Felipe Melo. We're going to work it forward through Ronaldinho, through Alexander Pato. And my attackers are quick and pacey. A little overlap from Bastos, and there's the left foot, near post OP, top net, the best net. And that is why I think he is a fantastic player that needs to be included in more squads, especially with the combinations of hybrids that you can make if you're doing a League One. And he leaves a lot of options. While he does play for Lyon, Thiago Silva is in League One as well, and they are quite a nice little tandem together. You have other options as well with Sacco and, just choosing then a Lyon French midfielder to create a nice little hybrid. But it's Bastos doing a nice bit of work again up the left side, and he was winning the left side of the match for me, or the left side of the pitch, and he plays inside Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho advanced rainbow over the defenders, and so unlucky. But he makes an error, throws it out, and it's to Ronaldinho. Little flick up and over, and then beats the keeper near post. That's kind of a nice little goal with the right stick flick there to set himself up for a quick and easy shot and the secured victory in the 88th minute. We're going to watch that flick one more time. Wellington winning that header, and then just a little flick and buries it into the near post. 4-1 is where this match is going to end. Wonderful start to the tournament, and it is wonderful to be back on the sticks, as I've said before. And if you guys hear me call them sticks, that's kind of just what I refer to my controller as from time to time. That is, I suppose that's a nickname for it. But on we go. 623 coins, kind of a low coin total bonus for that. I'm not sure if I got disconnected from any matches recently, or if that's just the way it goes in tournaments. You don't make as many coins, but it was nice. We still have 273,000 coins sitting up there, and I'm thinking that if I do enjoy this side as much as I seemingly do right now, I'm going to have to do a lot of trading to try to get up to that inform Neymar, and he would fit kind of nicely into what would be a hybrid version of this side eventually. But another 4-2-2 side, he's got Vela and Mbakani up front, and his center back's not exactly strong, and we didn't actually even get to play much of this match before he disconnected, or both of us disconnected. I didn't advance in the tournament as no goals were scored. So we're still hanging out in the second round of the cup, and we're eventually coming up against Salsa Verde FC in Bra. 2-2-2-2 is his squad name. 3-4-3 formation, and I saw Luizao at center back, and I was like, okay, it could be interesting. He ended up taking Luizao out, bringing Dede and Anderson on for, I can't remember which other center mid he took off, but kind of a ratty move all the same. Lovely bit of skill from Wellington right there, and Dank FIFA is his name, and he is down 1-0. 26th minute. The healed shot is, I think that's what it's called at least. I always mess that one up. If you guys have been around for a while, I ask about that and still mess it up time and time again. Nonetheless, though, lovely bit of skill to beat David Luiz and get in behind his defense. Puts it past the keeper for a 1-0 victory. Bastos inside to Wellington, goes for a little bit of roulette. Unlucky, but Bastos is going to get it back. And what a chipped through ball. And how about that for a finish from Alexander Pato? sneaking it in at the far post in the 30th minute. And I knew that the way I was able to control the midfield against him and the way I was able to get in behind down the line on his three center backs, this game could get ugly and could get ugly fast. We're going to give this to Bastos again. Lovely left-footed free kicks, excellent for taking corners, finds Welliton's head, and it is 3-0 now in the 35th minute. So 3 goals in the first half. We are set. We are in cruise control, and it is time to go for probably a few skills as our team is able to do just that. A lovely passing sequence between Ronaldinho, Welliton, and Pato. Ronaldinho eventually going to get clipped 39 yards out away from goal. So pretty far, a little bit too far to go for a free kick goal or a shot off of that, or so you would think. It is indeed in form. Ronaldinho steps up, power drive around the wall, an absolute thunderbolt right into the back of the net, and we have a fantastic free kick in the 45th minute. I don't score many of them, and they are so enjoyable when I do. Gonna watch the replay back. Just too much spin and too much power for the keeper. Crucial error. I really don't know who we had in net there, but not the best of keeping. And there it is. That actually might be Diego Alves as well, wearing that number 2, as I believe he wears for us. Ronaldinho, lovely little chip pass over his defender. Gonna set Welliton in on free. Sees Pato on the far post. Little dink over his keeper, and that is another fantastic little team goal from my 3 attackers, Welliton, Pato, and Ronaldinho, linking up again. They are quite the tripod of players, or the trio of players, I suppose. Not quite a tripod. But 5-0, and I make a major error defensively right there. He was bullying me off the ball, kind of, and I just tried to pass it back. Ended up kicking it out of bounds. He gets a free header with Alexander Pato, and that's going to be a goal 9 times out of 10. 67th minute, at least he went, picked up the ball, and said, let's get this on with. It would be an epic comeback to score 4 more. But I knew there was only one thing to do, and that was to crush his hopes and dreams off a kickoff. And it's Ronaldinho doing a nice bit of work getting forward here. Lovely usage of some of the skills. Going to eventually find Welliton. Going to step back. Find Ronaldinho again. Little ball roll and back the side. Near post OP, and it's into the back of the net. Fantastic finish. 69th minute. A little bit of dirty talk right there on a goal off of kickoff. And this game was sealed shut and locked, sealed. Throw away the key. We have a 6-1 lead, and a very much a fun game to play. I couldn't have asked for a more fun way to get back into FIFA after having been gone from actual gameplay for about a week. Failed there. I was trying to play Kelvin outside and just messed it up, but he gives it back to me, and it's Welliton over the top, and we're talking right stick flick, and his keeper is beaten yet again. 84th minute, again, a lovely little goal. At least I was happy with it. Anytime you get goals using the flicks and that sort of stuff, it's kind of fun this year on FIFA. And I haven't playing with Brazilian teams. At least this Brazilian team is quite a bit of fun. They are pacey and they can feel a bit overpowered, but they also have some skills, and the ball control is mighty nice. And it's again our trio moving forward. This time Welliton's just going to step by the keeper, run on by. It's a free goal, and there's only one thing to do: top net, the best net. Puts it away in the 89th minute to make it 8-1. And at this point, I thought it would be done. I think he actually put down his controller for this goal, as you'll see eventually he could have probably taken it away, but it's Welliton chopping back inside, and this is what I'm talking about. His player just freezes, so I think his controller was down, but finish it regardless. 9-1 is how we are going to end. Anyways, guys, if you would leave a like on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. As soon as we can get to that 2,500-ish like mark, we'll probably get a stream going, or it'll actually probably be somewhere around 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the U.S. So hopefully you guys can tune into that. I'll upload a video about that as well. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.